Hey everybody. This week we're going to write some actual code, some actual Java code. I'm going to be taking my car pseudo class and making a real Java class out of it, and that's going to be your assignment for this week as well, to take your pseudo code, see your pseudo class, and make it into a Java class. And also, I'm going to show you a little bit about debugging, and you need to be able to understand how to debug, because that's a gigantic part of coding on Android. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to type out my entire class, but I'm going to get started and show you what I'm doing. So in our project structure over here, I'm just going to right click, do new Java class. I'm going to name it car with a capital C. That's just kind of by convention. So this is what it's going to come up with. Absolutely nothing so far. I am, however, give me just a minute. Okay. So I am going to do some variables that are private. I'm also going to use final, because these things can't be changed. For instance, the make, say it's a Ford, that can't be changed. And we're going to do model as well. Again, can't be changed. Oops. Year can't be changed. Once it's created, that's where it is. And it's just more of the same. Sorry, not int. We're going to do integer. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and copy in the rest of it. No. First, I'm going to show you these are called getter functions. Public string get make. Now, this is a function that does not accept any input, no parameters, but it does return something. So in this particular instance, we want to do this so that once we have our car object, we can call object.getMake, and it will return this value. Okay, and there's several more of those I'm going to do, one for each of the different all the different variables. And we're also going to do a simple repaint. I'm sorry, I'm just going to make this one a void. We don't need to return anything as we repaint. So we're going to do that. We're going to take a string new color, and we're going to make color equals new color. Okay, very simple. And we are going to do also the boolean is car newer than. And so what we're going to do is accept a different car variable. Then we're going to compare it to what we have. If our current year, this is for our current car, that is greater than other car dot get year. I haven't programmed this one here, so let's go ahead and let's add that. All right, so now we have greater than get year, then we're going to return true. And if it's not, then we're going to return false. Okay. As you can see, each little part of it is, it's fairly simple. Yeah, let me make this point real quick. Our color is not going to be final because the color can actually change. So finally, I'm going to create the constructor down here. And the way we know this is a constructor is because it's the name of our class. Exactly. So what we're going to do in this is take in all of the parameters that we need to make our class. So for this example, I'm just going to show you the ones that that I have created up above, and I'm doing this with a with an underscore before each one of them, just as that's just something the way I like to do it. You don't have to do it. Technically you can use the exact same, just like this. Sorry, just like this, you could do year with or without the underscore. In fact, let me do that and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, finally we're going to have string color. All right, so we want to do make equals underscore make, and model equals underscore model. And then for these, we want to do this dot year equals year. This keyword means that's the current class. So it will saying this dot year is essentially saying year right there. So let's do the same with color. I wouldn't mix them up like this just because it can be confusing. But this is a way to do it. Some of the guys at work always use this here with this keyword. Personally, I prefer doing something like this because it leaves out any ambiguity. You always know if you're talking about underscore make, without any doubts whatsoever, it's different than make. But again, that's just a convention. So let me paste in the rest of my code here. Okay, might look a little complicated, but it's just more of the same that we've been going over. I've added a whole bunch of comments in here, but other than that, it's just more of the same. So the constructor got longer, of course. So this is all well and good. This is the finished Java class that'll do everything that my pseudo class did. So now I want to show you how to use it and then quickly how to do some debugging. So it's really hard to use it. You do car, my car equals new car. That's as simple as it gets. Let me break this down. First of all, this is not complete. You're going to have to, because we created only a single constructor that takes all these inputs, we will have to provide those in this for it to work. But I just want to give you, I just want to point out what each part is currently. Here, this is our class type or a variable type or whatnot. This is the actual name of our variable. And then here we're instantiating a new class of car. So let me go ahead and post that in. So this is what it's going to look like. This is a car I had when I was a lot younger, 93 Mustang. So, and again, it's nothing fancy. It's exactly what I just showed you. You can see some very useful things that Android Studio does here for you. It tells you what variable it's expecting in that position, make, model, year, VIN, color, style. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to print out something. Let's say my car dot get color. Come on, get out of here. Okay. So what I did was get color, open, close parentheses, then I close the parentheses for the print line, semicolon. All right. Now let's do my car dot repaint, and instead of being white, let's make it blue. All right. So now it's blue. I'm going to duplicate this line and move it down, just for simplicity's sake, or whatever. So I don't have to retype it. So the exact same command on this line as this line, but when we get here, it will print out white, and then when we get down here, it'll print out blue. All right. So that's all well and good. Now that we've made it that far, this is one way of debugging that I use all the time, is to make it spit out something so that you can see the value of it as it's running. The other way, this is not official debugging. This is just something people do. Now let's add a breakpoint here. All you do is click on the side here, and it will create a breakpoint. Breakpoint means that if you're debugging the app, then the app will stop being processed when you hit that point. So let's go ahead and run this, debug it, not just run. I do have a virtual device that I've already created here. This is all the same stuff we went over in the first few weeks. See, and you can see the status. Your debug window might not be showing, but you can just click on it to see. All right, and here we see it is actually in the, sorry. Here we see that we are actually in the debug code right there. Notice you've got a few things over here. This is the resume button. This is the stop button. And you can see that this is highlighted here. This is the point in your code that I want you to take a screenshot and submit it for your debugging screenshot. Okay, this is the point I want to see where your application is running. I can tell it's running and you're in the debugger mode. I can tell it's stopped on a line. You can see all these up here that it's running. So because debugging is such an important part of developing any app, you have to be able to get this part right. So that being said, let me show you, I'm going to show you how to step through the code. Okay. First of all, I'm going to flip over to the console here. There's a lot of stuff here. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Right now, it's a stupid error because of the way something's set up on this computer. So just ignore all that. I did clear because this is where it's going to spit out our color with the print line. So F8 will get us to one step. At this point now, my car has a value. You can mouse over it. You can see everything about it. Okay. This is the purpose of debugging, and this is where all the power comes in, is being able to do that type of thing. Step one more time, and it will spit out white. Okay. It's the color our car is right now. Do one more step, and our car should now be blue. Color blue. Exactly. And then let's do one more. These are F8, by the way, is what I was doing to step through, or step over, my apologies. And basically what that means is you execute one more line of code. So here we see it's now blue. And if we resume, which is F9, then we will see that our app will launch. Ta-da! Now, it doesn't do any, this is just the basic. It doesn't, this code here that I've written doesn't actually spit anything out on the UI yet. That's something that we will cover later. But as far as this week's concerned with creating our own Java class and debugging, that's it. As always, feel free to ask me specific questions. I know it's really hard getting into learning a programming language, so feel free to contact me. I don't expect that your code has to be 100% flaw-free code. Okay, I understand that you're still learning it. This is part of the process of learning it. This is not oh, you have to submit something that's perfect or I'm going to fail you. Okay, my goal is to help you learn this, not be a teetotaler on the grading. I want you to try. I want you to look like you've tried, and it's my goal to help you learn it by these exercises, not necessarily just grade you on the quality of the way you test and all that. So that being said, we're going to start getting into some more fun stuff. Personally, programming is fun. I like it. I enjoy it. So even if you don't, I think you can soak in at least enough to pass this class. The only people I've ever had fail this class are ones that simply did not do the work. Okay, so you put in an effort, and you get a little something done, you're going to be fine. All right, don't sweat it. I'm not here to be a grade Nazi. I'm here to help you, to facilitate you learning something, a new useful skill. So that being said, have fun. I'll see you next week.